Over the years, we've been greeted by good games, bad games, and everything in between. But today, we're going to be looking at my personal top 5 game list of all time. And in my opinion, all of these games are worth your time and are definitely worth checking out. Now, with all that being said, this is my personal opinion, so your opinion can differ from mine, that's okay. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Jumping in at number 5, we've got Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Okay, I know what some of you are thinking. You're probably like, whoa, where is Assassin's Creed 2? And to be honest with you, I understand where you're coming from. In my personal opinion, my first choice was actually Assassin's Creed 2. But when I stepped back and I actually looked at it, overall, I enjoyed Brotherhood as a game more. I enjoyed the campaign, the combat, and especially the multiplayer. Revelations didn't grab me as much as Brotherhood did, and nor did Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 2 set the stage for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which really made an understandable and amazing sequel. However, if you've played Assassin's Creed games before, you're gonna know what to expect, with a few different changes that make the gameplay a lot better. With the addition of new melee weapons, combat, even new finishing moves, the combat overall just feels a lot more fluid than it was in Assassin's Creed 2. And when you add to that a stealthy online multiplayer game mode, you've got yourself a very, very fun game. So if you haven't ever played Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, I recommend you check it out. Moving right along, at number 4, we've got Adventure Quest. So at this point, I probably have some eyebrows raised, and you're wondering, what in the world is Adventure Quest? To sum it up for you, it's a browser-based, free-to-play, online game. Technically speaking, you can only play it with yourself. You cannot play it online with other people. It is not an MMO. But it has been open for years. And by years, I mean since 2002. And since then, it's received many graphical updates and updates in general. But why put it in a top 5 list? It doesn't look fun. Well, I'll answer that question right now. Not only is it a fun game to play, almost like a strategy game at times, but it's also got so much content packed into one game. There are so many quests and missions, not to mention whole storylines of quests that you can do. If you'd like to learn more about Adventure Quest, or just basically check it out, go to Battlon.com and you can go and play their game. It's an amazing experience, and I recommend you check it out. Getting even closer to the number 1 spot, at number 3, we've got Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2 brings back everything it brought with Left 4 Dead 1, improves upon everything, and adds lots of new content. Now right away I'm gonna say PC is the platform to play this game on. It's part of the Steam Workshop, so you can get tons of mods to make your characters look different, new guns, new skins for guns, and just so many other things. Not only that, but in addition, if you play on the PC, you get all of the DLC that you'd have to normally pay for on the Xbox 360 for free. Yes, for free. This includes every single Left 4 Dead 1 map, but remade for Left 4 Dead 2. As you can see, I'm playing No Mercy campaign in the footage right now. However, this is actually part of Left 4 Dead 1, not Left 4 Dead 2. But if you're playing on the PC, you get all of the Left 4 Dead 1 maps for free. It's a win-win situation, and you get to play the game on the best possible settings. Now, I'm not trying to be a PC elitist here, but if you can't get it on PC, definitely get it on the Xbox 360. And as we are inching towards the number 1 spots, at number 2 we have Resident Evil 4. Right off the bat, I want to apologize for the quality of the video, but I couldn't actually find any other gameplay of Resident Evil 4. But honestly speaking, if you plan on playing the original, it shouldn't worry you too much. Yes, Resident Evil is a bit old, but it has stood the test of time. In fact, I still play through Resident Evil 4 every once in a while. It's just that good of a game. From my knowledge, they have made an HD remake of Resident Evil 4, I believe for the Xbox 360 and the PS3. But I personally still rock it over on the GameCube, thank you very much. I think I'm so used to playing on a GameCube controller that if I tried to play on a different controller, I would probably not be very good. Anyway, Resident Evil 4 will take you through dark corridors, lakes, castles, and many other treacherous environments, and you will be wondering the whole time, are you able to survive this? It's suspenseful and even scary at times, and sometimes you'll find yourself asking, how am I going to get out of this situation? And add to that amazing characters like Leon and Lewis, and you've got yourself one of the best games I've ever personally played, and a game that I can replay as many times as I have and still enjoy it. If you haven't already, do yourself a favor and go play some Resident Evil 4. And so, we have arrived at number 1. My personal candidate for this spot is Dark Souls. You might know Dark Souls for its unforgiving and brutal boss fights and combat in general. But if you dig deep and persevere, you'll find a deep, dark, and amazing experience in Dark Souls. In fact, there's so many ways to play the game, so many ways to build your character, that I can't stress enough how much this game is worth your time. For $20, this is the best game in my opinion that you can buy. Other games give you a class, and you have to stick by those rules. Dark Souls gives you souls, which you get from killing bosses and monsters. Use those souls to build your character in any way you want. You start out as a class, but you can change. You start out as a sorcerer, you can be a warrior. Start as a pyromancer, you can be a sorcerer. Any combination is possible in Dark Souls, and if you can get past the brutal difficulty, then you will be rewarded. With all that being said, Dark Souls is still a fair game, not an unfair game. A lot of people will classify Dark Souls as not enjoyable because it's simply too difficult. Now, I have to agree with you if you are a casual gamer. If you enjoy casual gaming and you want an experience where you just rush through a game with no deaths and no challenge, then Dark Souls probably isn't for you. You learn from your mistakes and you will die. It says it on the back of the game case. If you pick up the game and it's too difficult, I recommend taking a break, trying again later, and hopefully you can eventually persevere. Of all the games that I've mentioned so far, I believe Dark Souls deserves the number 1 spot. It is challenging yet rewarding. It promotes self-exploration. It doesn't hold your hand throughout the whole game. You possibly will have to look up guides on how to do some things. But in my opinion, the whole fun of the game was trying to figure out where to go and where the heck am I supposed to go next. If you've never played Dark Souls, or maybe you've never even heard of it, I highly recommend you go check this game out because it's well worth your time. I have one more thing to mention, and it's Age of Empires 2. I want to give this game an honorable mention for getting me into gaming. Pretty much out of every single game I've ever played, Age of Empires 2 was the first video game I ever played and is astounding, yet it has its problems. In fact, I'd love to show you gameplay, but my recorder just doesn't even work with Age of Empires 2. Nonetheless, it is an astounding game, and if you haven't played it, it lays down foundations of what an RTS game should be, and overall, it's one of my favorite games ever created.